सबने मेरा प्यार देखा है, अब देखेंगे मेरा गुस्सा।
There is no union. There will be no wedding.
Maleficent, mistress of evil.
I'm here with Aishwarya Rai Bachchan, and she is showing off her inner evil side on screen this time, right?
So you think until you go and discover, and we leave it at that.
But I'm sure you didn't need much convincing when it came to saying yes to Maleficent, because you have this Disney fan at home in Aradhya.
Yes, actually, the interesting part was that we had not seen Maleficent when it first came out. So it was really strange, some kind of, I think, divine timing. We had seen it just in the week of when I got approached for this.
Wow.
We had seen it just like 3 days before. And we discovered Maleficent is actually Aurora's godmother eventually. Maleficent had just endeared herself to us. And like 3 days later, I get this email and this request. And I was like, am I seeing right? And I said Maleficent aloud, and Aradhya was there with me, and I was taking her to bed. And I was setting the alarm for the next morning, for school wake up. Yeah. See? So her mommy talking. Yeah. So I was setting that. I'm like, Maleficent, and I said it aloud. I was like, they're asking me for. I said, no, wait. I'll address this later. And she heard it. So she's like, Mama, Maleficent? I said, it's the voiceover. It's not the movie, but it's really strange. I said, we just saw it. And she's like, yeah, and we like her. And I'm like, yeah, this is really bizarre, but maybe, I'll have a look at this later and see what exactly they're asking. But it just made me smile. I'm like, we watched it after all these years. We liked her. And here was a call to be a part of it somehow. And I think that kind of already made me inch towards a yes. And then I saw it the next day. Obviously, I told Disney I'd love to see what's expected of me and the character, and discover this sequel to it. And I liked what I saw, and then I was happy to be on board.
Does Aradhya understand that what's a dubbing?
Yes, because actually much earlier, one of the days, I don't know, as usual, working mother. So one of those days when there was, I think, a quick dub for a commercial. It was a L'Oreal commercial, I know, because she laughed and we refer to dubbing as, oh, the You're Worth It? I'm like, yeah. Because she had come with me to dubbing and I was doing, you're worth it in so many different ways. And she was like, what is this? I was like, shh, while I'm doing this really quick. It was a quick dub. So she kind of had witnessed this experience a couple of years ago, but she remembers it. And that was kind of cute. So I was like, yeah, it's a similar thing where you go into, she's like, oh, so you kind of say and you sync it with the picture. And I was like, yeah. So that's what I'm going to be doing on this one, and in Hindi, and it's new to me as well. So she was familiar with what this would be as, I think, some kind of a broad idea. How it has really broken down, we haven't intensely discussed. But she was familiar with what dubbing is.
So, lending a voice to a character that you have not played on screen, was it really difficult?
It was new. And I think I thought about it a lot more, like probably when you asked me this question, before I went in. So for me too, it was like, oh my God, this is going to be really different. And I've never done this. And imagine doing this to a role I haven't played. I mean, it's not like in animation, you're still kind of creating an animated character. Or possibly in the earlier things that, like what Abhishek and all did, I said, yeah, but it's still animal characters. It's not another actor doing another part, is what I thought. But once I was in that dubbing theatre, you're the actor. You're just there addressing it exactly the way you would do your own. But it was unique because this is another actor essaying the part, but theatrical. So the challenge, I think, was more with the writer. And I was telling Mayur Puri that I was like, it's for you to write to still stay close to the storytelling, stay closest you could to the character's way of enunciating, and yet kind of bring you to it, because this is for a Hindi speaking audience. So it was interesting because initially we did a couple of scenes. We did the whole movie, but a couple of scenes we addressed it exactly the way she had said it, which has a bit of a in some scenes she speaks in a little more of a sing-song way, and and a bit of a pronounced English accent. So when you do that also in Hindi, it kind of worked, staying true to her character. But then we needed to readdress it. It was an interesting exercise to know that you're doing this for somebody else's performance and for somebody else's storytelling. So it's interesting in terms of a new creative experience.
How is Aishwarya Rai Bachchan when she's angry? How do you react?
You'll never know. You'll never know. I say it all with a smile. Yeah.
Damn, can't get her. What kind of mother is Aishwarya? Is she strict, cool? How are you like a mother?
All of the above and many more.
Yeah?
Multifaceted. I mean, but hopefully a good one.
Of course you are. You travel a lot and we see Aradhya traveling with you. Like school, baby, travel, work. How do you handle all of that?
Planning. I mean,
Time management?
time management. A lot of my travel commitments, if people would focus a little more and draw attention to the little detail that they're mostly on weekends. And I've done that right from the outset. So I think I'm a very good flight manager now. Anybody can ask me anything on all kinds of flight timings. Because, I mean, I remember first sometimes AB used to pass through and say, what's this? I'm like, flights. He's like, yeah, just book it, not just say. And I'm like, no. I'll know takeoff, landing, transit period, that time there, time difference. I'll have calculated everything so much so that the travel can be, so it's, yeah, I've planned a lot of my travels with Aradhya since she was small, even before school, and then after that with preschool, putting a lot of thought into timings and then choosing my flights accordingly and planning my day accordingly, and God's grace, it's worked out here. It takes that little bit of effort, a lot of thinking ahead. You're trying to think ahead, and then of course you hope everything pans out the way you plan. It never does, but it can closest to, because that's life. I mean, it's always full of surprises, but closest to, and if you do that, you'll be surprised of how wonderfully it's doable. I mean, I have gone to some countries and back that I can manage without any jet lag and back to school Monday morning.
Wow.
Yeah. So if you plan it, you can. Yes,
Yes.
you can.
Thank you so much for talking to us.
My pleasure.